We're back on the Frank Broyles story here on CSN Sports Biography. And Coach, you was athletic director before before you retired as a football coach. So you was athletic director and football coach for a few years. How did you kind of take care of those two areas there?
Delegate. And we didn't have a big all sports program like it wasn't like it is today. But my assistant took care of it and managed things, and I just made some decisions. But it was great being the athletic director because it gave me some real training for something I wanted to be, an athletic administrator. That's what I wanted to be when I quit coaching.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing that people across the state of Arkansas remember it's about Frank Broyles, the athletic director, is the expansion of the athletic programs. I think something around $235 million in athletic facility renovations and expansion, and that is a great tribute to what you have done for the University of Arkansas.
Well, they announced 4 years before I retired and became athletic director, they announced that I was going to be the athletic director when John Barnhill retired. Mm-hmm. And so everywhere, Mike, I went in the state, people would say to me, Coach, can you get us an all-sports program? Why do we just have football and basketball? Mm-hmm. Why can't we compete in all sports? Now, the women's sports came later, but why can't we have an all-sports program? So I was committed, when I became athletic director, we were going to sponsor with scholarships and a coach all the sports that were being played in the Southwest Conference. And so we were able to expand our program into baseball and other track and other sports there, so that our fans didn't have to wait from spring practice to football season to start following the race. Wow. They had baseball and track all the way through that time. I hired John McDonald and Norm DeBryan and all to have a spring program so our Razorback fans could keep interest and not have to just wait until fall.
And with that, with the expansion of the facilities, you attracted more athletes, which means 43 national championships.
That's amazing. That, of course, John McDonald won the great majority of them in 3 sports a year. Yeah. But the thing is that having an all-sports program, it kept our fans interested for the year. They didn't have to just wait for 6 months for the next football season to start. And it developed a fan base of people whose children didn't play football but ran track or whatever. And so it broadened the fan support from the statewide to where we had to keep enlarging our stadium.
Oh, that is fantastic. I think 34 years, is that correct, athletic director as Arkansas?
36.
36 years.
Yeah, math, I think, is 36. Close to that.
And 22 bowl appearances as athletic director. That's something.
Yeah, we've had some good coaches, and the thing that we had was fan support and support from the Board of Trustees and the president to let us emphasize and have an all-sports program. And I was proud that we had that support from the administration, the state, and everywhere. And it's just unbelievable the pride that it developed with the fan base all over the state. They got to where they watch those baseball scores all today. They follow the baseball, they follow the track and the women's sports, and take pride and talk about it, and give them something to think about the year round.
Did you ever envision that it would be this big of the sports programs at Arkansas?
No, I think none of us envisioned how college sports would continue to grow and prosper, the interest. And what has done it is television and radio and newspaper coverage. It just broadened the base to where people in eastern Arkansas feel like they're up here because of the TV and the newspaper and the radio. They're just right on top of everything. It used to be they didn't get anything till Sunday after the game. Now they get it all week long, and it builds a fan base. And of course, it helps our recruiting for students. It helps the people's support for the program. It helps in the legislature. It helps everything, I think.
Now, I imagine it was a tough decision when you decided to go from the Southwest Conference to the SEC. How did that happen?
Well, the Southwest Conference was about to to disintegrate with the pros, the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Oilers, and each of them had 3 sports. They had a pro, Major League Baseball, NBA basketball, and the NFL and football. And so the fan base in the state of Texas started to spread to where the colleges were left off the first page. Their sports page and the Dallas News on the Southwest Conference was a 6 sports page. Where we used to be over the first, with no pros, we covered the first, on Sunday, it was all about Southwest Conference on the Dallas News. After the pros came, the Southwest Conference was on page 6.
Wow.
So the fan base, other than Texas and Texas A&M, the fan base started going to the pros. And so the crowds dropped and the crowds dropped, and we knew that something was going to happen. We had rumors that Texas was going to the Southwest Conference with A&M, excuse me, to the Pac-10 conference and all, and we'd be left out. So we made the decision. When I went down in 97 and told the Southeastern Conference that I'd gotten permission from the Board of Trustees that if they ever expanded, we would accept it immediately. They'd already approved it, and they had. And so 2 years later, the Southeastern Conference decided to expand, so they offered us first because we had already had permission to accept immediately.
And that's a great vision going to the SEC, because I think in the last 6 years in football, the SEC has won the national championship.
And they lead in attendance, they lead in everything. There's something about high school football in the states where we have colleges in the Southeastern Conference. It's just like the state of Texas, but it's so divided with so many. But when you go into Louisiana, high school football is big. You go into Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Florida, high school football is huge. Well, that means there are better teams, more players, and therefore it graduates right to the college level.
I think they said, and there's an old cliche, in the SEC is church and football is the top 2 religions.
Yeah, you're right.
Coach, let's go to, after you retired as athletic director at the University of Arkansas, you were big on the Alzheimer's Association. Of course, your wife, Barbara, passed away because of Alzheimer's.
Yeah, here's what it was. Alzheimer's had been put on the back burner by the medical profession because there was no medicine to treat it and no way to cure it or anything else. So it was kind of on the back burner, and people felt like it was a kind of a disgrace for their loved one not to be able to know who they were. So they put them in hiding, put them in the back room. And that was the worst thing they could do. Yeah. So when Barbara got diagnosed with it, we decided to go public and let people know and let her know that she could have some quality of life after she had been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Yeah. And so we gained support for people to realize that there is a positive approach to take. You can do a lot of things for it. There's no cure for it. There's no medicine to treat it, really. But someday we'll have that. But in the meantime, the families are having a better, what our message was to improve the quality of life for the impaired one, the caregiver who takes all day for many years and every day, 7 days a week, and the entire family. And so improving the quality of life was our goal, and we've done that. We wrote a book. I had my friends and all, we developed a book, a caregiver book, and we've given out about 1.2 million of them across the country.
And you have developed a great legacy for Alzheimer's, and now the legacy is so big, I think Betsy's going around speaking on Alzheimer's.
Betsy's taking my place. She's making the speaking now. She'd moved in the house to take care of Barbara when she was diagnosed with it, when I was at work. And she has a passion for it. She is speaking all across the country and helping people take care of their loved ones and how the family can adjust to it.
Now let's get to another segment of your life, awards, honors. You have been inducted in the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. How does that feel?
I am proud to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. They have a great tradition. Arkansas, sports in Arkansas is important. Statewide, great things that the Razorbacks and television has done is built a fan base from every corner of the state for the Razorbacks and for sports. And it's something we can come together and take pride in and whip Georgia and Texas and other things at times.
All right, when I throw out something, a word phrase to you, you tell me what this means. You were inducted College Football Hall of Fame. What does that mean?
Well, it was quite an honor to be inducted into that as a coach. I was very flattered. I'd had a wonderful career. The people here at Arkansas had been so good to me and all, and we'd had success, and it was something that I was very proud of, and something that I look forward to going through every year and watching the new class being inducted.
You have been inducted in several Hall of Fames. Let me just mention just a few of those, Coach. The Orange Bowl Hall of Fame, the Gator Bowl Hall of Fame, the Georgia Tech Hall of Fame, the University of Arkansas Sports Hall of Honor, the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame, the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes Lifetime Trust, the Southwestern Bell Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame, the NCAA Football Rules Committee, the American Football Coaches Association as a president, and the National Association of Collegiate Directors Hall of Fame.
Well,
wow.
Longevity gets you some of that.
what a resume.
Well, yes, it is, and I'm very proud of it. But I'm proud because we had a great team effort here in Arkansas. Mm-hmm. And I keep hitting on the team effort that we had here. Orville Henry was very important to us. Mm-hmm. And he wrote about the Razorbacks every day. And he built us a statewide fan base through the Gazette. It was just wonderful. And Jack Keaty helped also with the Democrat. But we had it was fun watching the program grow from where our crowds with 25,000 when I came here to sell out to 76,000.
Oh, that is some legacy.
Our
Coach.
stadium was 26,000 when I came.
Wow. Now
that dates me.
Let's kind of go forward a little bit. What does it mean to you to have the Broyles Award named in your honor for the outstanding assistant football coach in college football?
Well, I'm flattered that they put my name on it, but I wanted to have a way to honor the assistant coaches. We honored only the head coaches at a national level. Assistant coach could get honored in a local state or something, but there was not one national honor for an assistant coach. And I'd had great assistants, mm-hmm. and they had never any award given to them because there wasn't one available. And so we started that award to encourage and to honor the assistant coaches that were doing such a great job in the programs, and it has grown by leaps and bounds, and something I'm very proud of, and to have a tremendous program every year.
Folks, don't go away. We have one more segment on the life story of Frank Broyles coming up next. Frank Broyles, the sportscaster, right after these words on CSN.